All right. Well, it's time. Let's talk about the albums from this week.
Let's do it.
We have today. I feel like it's a pretty good one. Every week's been stacked recently, but we got another good week. We got three albums today. We have Rich the Kids, Life's a Gamble, Ice Spice's Y2K, and Mustard's Faith of a Mustard Seed. We're going to give our reviews on all three, our favorite tracks, rank them on the tier list with the rest of the albums from this year. So, where do you want to start?
Feel like Rich the Kid.
Works for me.
Okay. Go ahead. You start.
Okay, well, I wouldn't say all the songs are bad, but
Dang.
I didn't.
What a harsh start. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, I'm. They're all like some decent songs on here that I feel like are pretty good, but like most of the songs I feel like are like really short and pretty forgettable. Like 30 seconds after it's over, you like don't even know it exists anymore. I don't know if that's just maybe I was preoccupied, but they were pretty forgettable to me. The features list like looks kind of stacked at first, and there were a couple good features, but it wasn't like enough to carry the album or make it a great album in my opinion. The songs with good features like Not in the Mood, Louis Coat, Give Me a Second to, Keep It Exclusive. Those are definitely the best songs on the project, but most of the other songs, like the solo Rich the Kid songs, all the other songs were pretty mid and boring to me. The production was fine, few good tracks here and there, but it really was not as good as I was hoping. Like all the shit that happened with Rich the Kid recently, like him being shot and all like the traumatic shit, I thought he was gonna come like super lyrical and deep and introspective, and it just was like a pretty forgettable album to me. There's still a few good songs like Louis Code I like with Chief Keef, Give Me a Second Too with Kanye, Not in the Mood. Like I did like those songs, but the rest was just kind of whatever to me. I'm at like a 4.5 out of 10.
What?
Like a five
Dude, there's
maybe,
no
yeah.
way. Okay. You might be trying to do something today. But all right.
You
Okay.
liked it?
Well, a 4.5.
Like five, yeah,
That's
like
like the worst
average,
album
mid.
this year.
No,
Four and
I
a
wouldn't say
half.
it's the worst. It's one of my least
I haven't
favorites though.
rated an album a 4 all year, I don't think. Maybe.
Genre Sad Boy.
Maybe like a 2, genre sad boy, but
So there you go.
very few albums are a 4, but okay.
I would put this in like good, not great, and like not toward the top. Like I really didn't like. It should have been so much more after everything that happened with Rich the Kid. He should have like came out and blown me away, but I don't know. It's pretty forgettable to me. I don't know.
To each his own. I guess to your point where you said the songs are a bit shorter and forgettable. I agree. Like I think it did suffer from too many short songs. I feel like if there was 3 or 4 less songs and all the songs were 30 seconds, 40 seconds longer, maybe they'd stick in your mind a little bit more and be more memorable. But
It's like
overall,
a 20-minute album, ain't it?
no, it's like 40.
Okay.
Yeah. But he starts off saying he was broke as hell, walking around passing CDs in a parking lot, to eventually getting successful on the intro track with Peso Pluma. It's actually the second track, Give Me a Second with Peso. Peso Pluma feature was good. I mean, I don't really speak Spanish, so I can't really translate it. But
I thought that song was fine
I'm
though.
a
Like
fan
I
of Peso
enjoyed it.
Pluma. Like, even though I don't speak Spanish like that, he makes some good music that I enjoy. So I thought it was an interesting feature. I thought there was good flow switches throughout, like in terms of rapping from Rich the Kid. Like, I thought it was pretty decent. Good production, almost tranquil beat on something like Yoga, and Bia killed her feature. And I guess to your point of the features, like there definitely were a couple solid features, but also some weaker features like Young Ads on
Yeah.
whatever song that was with Young Ads really killed it for me. I don't have the title of the song here, but it was just a weird feature, super super heavy auto tune and like high pitched squeaky voice just was weird for me. And then you got 2024 Kanye twice on the album, so take that how you want it. But
Yeah, I thought it was whatever. The Kanye performances were not the greatest,
yeah,
but
I mean it's 2024 Kanye. You give
yeah.
and you get, I guess.
And that's
Um,
exactly what you got.
But you said he didn't really get introspective. I thought like on the latter half of the album, he started getting a bit more introspective on songs like Sometimes, saying that sometimes he doesn't want to be a rapper, he just wants to be himself. And there was a few other choruses and uh, lines here and there that were kind of introspective. But yeah, overall, I thought Sorry, I'm trying to let my camera catch up. This shit is being whack. Okay, my bad. Overall, I thought it was good production, uh, solid rapping, pretty versatile with the flow switches, going from melodic to more like raw rapping throughout the album. It was decent content lyrically. You got to talk about the come up, getting pretty introspective on something like something like I just said. Not the best features like we talked about, but some good ones. Bia killed her shit. And again, like the short songs kind of killed it. It was 40-minute runtime, and I just felt like the songs were too short, too many songs. Not, I felt like they could have been more memorable, like we talked about. So that was really, I give it a
That
7.5.
damn, you're really that high. Yeah, my main gripe was just like no songs were like, ooh, that's a good song. Like I don't think I thought that at all.
There was definitely some, I don't know, some standouts to me on there. I can't really think of one right now. I mean, like Yoga with Bia, I thought was really good. I thought
I
she
like
killed
that song.
her shit, and I thought he was rapping pretty solid throughout the album. So I didn't hate it.
Maybe I just went in with too high of expectations. But I mean, yeah, I'm still at like a 5. So I mean, if you average it, we're at like a 6.75 give or take or so. So where are you at on the tier list though when it comes to this entire year?
Yeah, I mean,
Cuz I would be tempted to put it in not good enough, but I mean, good not great I'm fine with. I don't think it's
it probably
much
would
better
have to
than
be
that.
good, not great. I did give it a 7.5, but I don't know now that I'm looking at these albums that it's
Yeah.
better
Well,
than Rhapsody or even Snot.
yeah, I got Snot and Rhapsody over this and I didn't even really like the Rhapsody album that much. Like I'm not opposed to putting it at the top of this,
What do you think the
but
back of a
like
few misses?
personally, I think no. But I
Okay.
mean, if you really
Let's
think
leave
it's
it good,
that
not
good,
great then. That's fine.
I was just like kind of disappointed about it. I don't know. Maybe I did go in with too high of expectations. I just figured like all the shit that happened with him recently, like we're about to get something crazy,
It was a
and
bit
just didn't.
underwhelming, but I felt like a lot of that had to do with the short songs.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely true. He wasn't helping his case any by making like a bunch of just short songs with not a ton lyrically. I just expected more. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Fair enough.
Well, what do you want to do next? You want to do mustard or ice spice? Two goats.
Probably Ice Spice.
All right. You go first this time. Take it away.
All
Ice
right.
Spice Y2K, the debut album is here.
The debut album is here, as Tom said, and right out the gate on Fat Butt, she starts off hot.
Of course.
On Fat Butt,
What'd you expect?
right? She gets real braggadocious out the gate. Talk about hating bitches, they angry. Hating bitches, they ain't me. Throughout the whole album, the 10-song EP is about 35 minutes. She's being real
Yeah.
braggadocious throughout the whole thing, talking her shit. You got some solid features with Travis, Gunna, Central C,
Who's the last one?
Central C.
I thought there was 4.
Nope.
Oh, it's just those 3. Okay.
Yep. All pretty good features. Travis on Osh. Gunna had a good feature. Central C on Did It First might be the best song on there. Just rapping performance wise, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked all the features. I thought they were all pretty good. They fit well. Like I liked them.
One of the singles that we got before the album release, Thank You the Shit, ended up being one of the better rap performances on the album, I thought, in
Yeah.
terms of just delivery and flow and, shit like that. And one thing that I didn't really like, one thing that struck me off about the album is that before it came out, we had already heard like 40% of the album. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah,
kind of a
3 out of
four
10,
batch
I think.
situation, and only being 30-minute runtime or something like that, it left room for more. And I thought the hooks, like overall, um, I thought that like it was pretty decent, right? She rapped pretty well, like nothing crazy in terms of lyrically. Her rapping just kind of felt a bit one dimensional. There was really no flow switches or anything like that. And the hooks kind of felt repetitive. But there was some highlights definitely within the track list of, her showing off some rap skill. I just feel like if she would have left some room for verses to be longer and hooks to be shorter, because her verses ended up being very short, almost as long as the hooks, that the hooks just became so repetitive that, they take over the verse, and the verses where you get the meat of the song, and she just didn't. I don't feel like she left herself enough room to show off her actual like ability in terms of rapping, because all the verses were like 30 seconds long. You know what I'm saying? You can only do so much with a short verse. So I thought it was pretty good, but nothing crazy. 10 songs. We already heard four of them. One
Favorite
dimensional
song?
rapping.
Did It First, is that's your favorite?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty good. It makes sense as a single. They're not dating, by the way. I thought that was brought up somewhere online this week. They're not dating, so we can't ship them as Rap's new power couple. It's not happening. But yeah,
Overall, though,
so
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah, it had good beat selection, good production. I thought throughout, like the one song, I think it was "Did It First." They were using like the gunshot sounds, like rocking in with the beat. Like I thought that was really interesting. I really fucked with the Sean Paul sample on "Give Me a Light." Um, and yeah, she had good rap. There was highlights throughout the album, even on verse 2 of the final track "TTYL." I thought she showed off a bit of rap skills. So I feel like there's some potential for sure.
score.
5.5 out of 10.
Okay. For yeah, I mean, I mentioned this in the hot take section. For some reason, I just like Ice Spice's music. I don't know, it just hits my ears nice, and I think they're fun. Like her tracks and songs, basically every Ice Spice song we've ever heard so far is definitely like simple and straightforward. There's not much going on, but I just feel like they're like fun songs to listen to in the car. You mentioned it, the Travis Scott feature, the Gunna feature, and the Central C feature. I thought they were all pretty solid. They all made sense on the album. They didn't feel like weird and out of place. Like I did like them all. I thought on this album, I don't remember what song I like specifically, but not her voice, but like her flow and delivery is like super similar to like a Nicki Minaj. Like I feel like when you're listening to this, you can really tell she's influenced by Nicki
Yeah,
Minaj. Like
super heavily.
and like the verses part when she's like actually rapping, it's like super reminiscent of Nicki, except it's got more like a New York drill style.
It's
But
more
it's
one
definitely
dimensional,
influenced.
right?
Yeah, it's definitely influenced by Nicki though. None of the songs on this are like crazy groundbreaking, but I think they were fun, fine. I would I mean, you're definitely right. Like, there's not a ton of variety in sound or style from Ice Spice. Like, I do hope eventually we get her trying new things and doing different shit. And maybe like you also said, giving more in the verses, going deeper lyrically, and giving us some more to work with. But overall, I thought it was like a fine project. We saw a little bit more than we had seen from Ice Spice in the past, though. Like there was a little bit of glimmers of rapping skill and stuff. Like I feel like I think potential is the right word to use here. Like there was definitely more potential than we've seen from Ice Spice up to this point. Like I thought it was fun and fine. It's short and sweet, 10 songs, 30 minutes, whatever, 20, 30 minutes. Like totally digestible and listenable. I'm at like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a good point with it being digestible and listenable. Like, it makes sense to be her debut album, like EP anyway. For me, like maybe not album, studio album, because, like you said, I'm hoping for something a bit deeper. And like her rapping was just a bit one dimensional. That's all. Like,
Yeah. She
no,
definitely does the same shit over and over
yeah,
again.
it's just, but you can, nobody is born knowing how to rap. You know what I'm saying? Rappers become better rappers by rapping. So I just want her to leave herself some more room in her verses, because the verses felt so short and
Yeah,
the
but
hooks
in the
were
verses where
so
she
long.
was rapping, you're like, okay, yeah, keep doing this. Like,
I
this
know, and
isn't
then it
bad. You
ends.
can rap.
And then it
Yeah.
ends. It's like, and then it'll repeat the fucking hook that's like so damn repetitive. But
But she has like confidence and carries herself well on the song. Like,
yeah,
she can rap. Like, I feel like she does actually have unironic potential to be like a pretty decent
yeah,
staple in the rap game.
she showcased a few different deliveries and voice inflections on the album too. Like her flow was kind of always the same, like the choppy, like Ice Spice flow.
Yeah. The
But
drill, the straight
yeah,
up Ice Spice drill
yeah,
flow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, potential.
I think that's why the songs with Travis Gunna and Central C are my favorites because they kind of switch up the vibe from just the same Ice Spice style. So like the songs with the features, that Travis song, the Travis feature isn't the best, but I liked it. The Central C song probably is the best song. But yeah, she just needs to like diversify a little bit cuz like I did think she had potential. She has potential. Like it's not bad.
Fair enough.
Well, where you got it on the tier list, brother?
Well, it's not better than Rich the Kid's album.
I definitely think it
It's
is.
definitely
So I'm
not.
fine with putting it like behind it.
It's not better than Thames. It's not better than.
Because I think it's way better than the Rich the Kid album.
It's not
Like,
better than Something Ether even. I'm not trying to hate, but I don't think it is.
then we definitely got to move Rich the Kid if we're putting Ice Spice down this low. Because
What?
I hated the Rich the Kid project compared to this.
I give it what, a 5 or something.
Rich the Kid, yeah, 4.5.
No, let's talk about the
But
Ice Spice album. I mean,
I gave it a 7.
no, I
Yeah.
saw. Yeah. Um,
Because we basically have
to me,
reversed
it would
scores on
probably go
these
way.
two.
It would go further down though. Like to me, it would probably go top of Not Good Enough.
Then I would definitely want to put Rich the Kid like further down.
Well,
That
we
Rich
don't.
the Kid project was just
Well, we
not good
average
to
it
me.
out. You don't have to put it where I want to put it. Just put it in between.
Yeah, but we had the reverse scores. We scored these the same except opposite.
Yeah, I
Like
guess.
you gave Rich the Kid 7, I gave it 5, and then the
I don't
opposite
know,
on Ice Spice.
bro. You are on something. But all right. I mean,
You think the Rich the Kid project was better than the Ice Spice
are you
one?
for
I just
real?
don't agree. Yeah, I just
Yes,
don't
it
think
was.
so.
Yeah, it was a lot better. I'm not trying to hate.
I just didn't, man. I did not like the Rich the Kid one. Maybe I just had too high of expectations, but I was like so disappointed that when I got to the Ice Spice album, I was like, okay, this is so much better to listen
I
to.
mean, yeah, it was a fun album to listen to, but you know, like
The Rich the Kid was not a fun album to listen to me.
when you get lines like "I'm his poopy, but I never smell." You know what I'm saying?
Way better than anything Lil TJ or Rich the Kid
No,
has
it's
ever
not.
said. Lil TJ.
I mean, I
I don't know
think it's
why I said
funny,
that.
but it's like, you're Rich the Kid. You got him actually talking about how he doesn't want to be a rapper and shit anymore. Like he's actually talking about shit. Ice Spice is talking
I
about
mean,
I'm
yeah,
the poopy but don't smell. Like what are we talking
yeah.
about? It's
And I still liked
it's
it better.
it's
That's how bad I thought the Rich the Kid one was.
yeah, you're tripping. Um,
Well, there you go. I
yeah.
guess we can leave them there for now.
All right.
But everything you say just goes on the tier list, and everything I like just doesn't
What do you
rank.
mean?
What do you
Make your
mean?
point. I made my point of why it's better.
I did
Why?
make my point. I was like, well, if that's the case, we should at least put it behind the Rich the Kid project. Like, nah, you got to put in the next tier
Because bro,
down.
look, it just doesn't
Because
even
I would
look
put
right.
Rich the Kid here.
It doesn't
I
even
would put
look
Rich
right.
the Kid there.
But
That's where I would
okay.
put Rich the Kid is
But why are
after
you
Ice
taking my
Spice.
word like as gospel? Because that's not where I would put Rich the Kid even.
Where would you put it?
I told you I would put it a few misses.
Yeah, so we put it here. But
Yeah.
I
So
would
why are
put Ice
you
Spice in a few misses too. Like that's where I would put
okay?
this at
So
the
put
back
her
of
at the
this.
bottom of Good Not Great.
You think she's worse than this Blade album and this Melly album? I just don't think so.
It's around there. It's not like it's not way worse. It's not much better though.
I don't
You
know,
think
man.
it's a lot
I'm
better?
actually. I thought you were gonna hate the Rich the Kid project. Like I
Nah.
just thought it was like mediocre.
I
I don't
mean, I
know.
thought it was pretty decent.
I don't know, man. I feel like, damn. Maybe I just thought higher of him than he thinks of himself because I was expecting so much more from the Rich the Kid
I
album. I
mean,
was just like disappointed the whole time.
I never really dove into Rich the Kid's discography. I didn't really know what to expect from a full album experience from. Um, it was like reminiscence of like a Young Thug sound, and without hearing Young Thug music in fucking 3 years now or whatever, 2 years, I just feel like it's kind of refreshing. It sounded good to me.
I think Rich the Kid's next album has to be a lot better than this, or he's gonna have a
One
problem.
thing I just hated was that one feature was I thought was terrible, but that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was particularly terrible. I was just like underwhelmed
Yeah,
by
and the
it.
Kanye features
And
were not
like,
good. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty underwhelmed too. I only gave it a 7.5, I think. So,
and
I
like,
mean, I
I
probably
don't
could have
hold.
given it a 7 or like high 6, but yeah.
I have higher hopes for Rich the Kid than Ice Spice. When I listened to Rich the Kid album, I was disappointed. When I listened to the Ice Spice one, I was impressed.
Yeah, but
Like
you
that's
can't.
kind of.
I mean, I don't think you can judge it like that.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm
I
saying?
guess
If
I can
if
judge it however I
okay,
want.
well, yeah, technically. I mean, if Tom Brady throws 200 yards in a game and I throw 200 yards in a game, you
Yeah,
know, it's a bit
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, Ice
Exactly.
Spice is you, and Tom Brady's Richard
Exactly,
Kidd.
but
That's exactly what I'm saying.
instead, Ice Spice threw 10 yards and, you know, Richard Kid threw 80 or 100 or, you know, I don't know. This is a bad analogy. It's a weird,
I mean,
confusing
realistically,
analogy,
his
but
project probably is better than hers, but like going in with expectations and how good it should have been, like I feel like his just didn't live up to what it should have. So
fair
maybe I was
enough.
just extra disappointed because I wanted it to be good. I was genuinely excited for it, but
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't love it.
Sometimes it'd be like that, bro.
All right, well, last but not least, Faith of a Mustard Seed by Mustard, of course. He's been all over in the zeitgeist recently. Obviously, he made the beat for Not Like Us. He was in the Not Like Us video, the Kendrick pop out, all that. We finally get a Mustard full album. It's like a collaborative album, like a Quality Control or, one of those types of albums where a producer does all the beats and the songs, gets a bunch of rappers and artists to rap on those songs. And then you got this, Faith of a Mustard Seed. What'd you think?
All right. So, Mustard, you know, kind of reminiscing of 2024, the dominance of the West Coast in 2024. It felt like on Faith of a Mustard Seed starts off with a soulful intro talking about having faith, and then abrupts or ends abruptly. Jesus, I couldn't get that shit
There
out.
you go.
It
Now we're going.
ends
Bars.
abruptly with an alarm and saying he's going to be late for school uh, at the end of the first song. And then it turns up with a great Lil Yachty hook, which I think Lil Yachty is best at. Definitely his hooks. I mean, his voice, can't really beat it.
That's that's up now, right?
Yep. Talking
Is
about
that the best song? I feel like it's one of the better. I like that one a lot.
probably, yeah, it's probably up there. But you talk about the come up, and then you get a Jeezy feature, how he came, he came correct, and then you hear the iconic 42 Doug whistle, on that second verse, and he
I thought his
comes
verse was pretty good
and he
too.
kills it. Yeah, on top of a great simple mustard beat. Then you get right after that, you get a West Coast banger with Schoolboy Q, Vince Staples again on
So
top of
good.
that mustard beat. Literally just a homage. It feels like to the West after the year it's had with Kendrick winning the beef and everything. And like you said, throughout the album, obviously it's collaborative. He's a producer, so he doesn't really rap much on the album, but everybody I felt like came in and killed their verses. Travis had a good rapping performance on Parking Lot. Um, Throughout the album too, you get the funny little skits, kind of leading you through the story of the album, the concept of the album of his younger self trying to get with this girl, and it's a whole story throughout the album. You get to follow. You get the more introspective, like heartfelt shit on something like a song for mom, I believe it's called, where he's talking directly to his mother. But yeah, overall, like I said, it feels like a reminiscing and look back at the West Coast winning the first half of 2024, and it's overall a very introspective and great album from Mustard, which I think is interesting that it's so introspective, being that he's a producer and he doesn't really spit much on the album. Um, but I think being able to collaborate with so many great artists like Yachty, Vince Staples, Q, Future, Roddy Rich, Kodak, I thought had a great feature, made it a great album because you get what feels like a special performance from everybody. Like you get what feels like introspective and heartfelt performances from everybody on the album, and it really tied into the concept of the album really great. I felt like, and yeah, like he did a really good job of curating it, producing it. Um, yeah, pinpoint production, and then you end it with a 10-minute heartfelt rapping slash dialogue performance from Mustard himself. Just talking about his life, mentioning how Nipsey influenced the name of the album. Overall, I thought it was great. Thought it was a great album. 8.4.
Damn, that is high, I will say. But yeah, like the production quality is definitely good. Like it's Mustard. That's kind of what you expect it should be. I do wish there was like some more just like straight banger, high energy songs. We don't get a lot of that, but that wouldn't really fit into the like feel of the album. But I do like wish there was a couple. There's some like the Vince and Schoolboy Q song so good. The Lil Yachty song is good. One of them ones, the Quavo song is good. Ghetto with Young Thug is probably my favorite song. Like I just really like that song. That hook is just like still stuck in my head. The first half of the album I thought was stronger. Then the second half, like basically the first 6 songs, I really liked all of them. And then the back half, I would say I liked like 50% of the songs. So the back half was a little hit or miss for me, but I thought it was really fun, digestible, easy to listen to. Like I did not struggle listening to it all. I liked there was a few features that I didn't really care for, a few tracks I didn't really care for, but like in general I did really like it. And Free Thug.
Yeah, Free Thug for sure. We mentioned him a couple times already.
That
Yeah.
Thug song got me. I was like, damn, this is we need Thug music, man. Thug needs to get out.
Yeah, and that's I think like producers almost have an upper hand in making albums because they're allowed to, while on one hand it's probably harder to get your own point across, like your own concept across when you're not the one actually rapping like throughout the whole album, even though he does have rapping performances on the album. Um, it's harder to get your point across when you're not the main one talking. So it's interesting to me that he was able to create such an introspective and like heartfelt concept of an album, you know, just by producing it really and curating it. So I thought it was great.
And then the plus side is no one's gonna get bored listening to it because all the songs sound the same. Like you get a lot of different sounds and verses and people performing, and like I do love that about this album. Like you get the Vince Staples and Schoolboy Q song, and then you have the Ghetto Thug song, and like none of these songs sound the same. Like it's definitely not a boring album.
Yeah,
There was my only complaint is I just wish there was a little bit more of high energy, just like straight bangers, like a Not Like Us vibe or something. But it just wouldn't make sense on the album, so I get why they're not here too.
yeah, and that's one reason I scored it so high is because it didn't have any of that, and I thought it was still like it's. I feel like it's hard as a like I just said this as a producer to get your point across on an album, and he was able to really do it and really give a heartfelt performance, like in terms of curation. So I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm probably at like a 7.75 give or take, so you're definitely a little higher than me, but I definitely thought it was good. Like I liked it, and there's definitely some songs on here that I'm gonna add to my playlist and go back to for sure. Like I did like it. So where are you at on the tier list?
A victory lap for the West Coast. I mean, for me, I liked it better than the Childish Gambino album. Not better than Denzel Curry. Better than Don Toliver. So that's where I'm at.
Right there.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm cool with that because I did like Childish Gambino album better and Denzel, but not Don Toliver. So I would agree with most of that statement, except I like the Childish Gambino album better still.
Okay.
But I still like this. Like by the time I got through it, I was like, yeah, Parking Lot's like the 6th best song.
Yeah, and you get a solid rapping performance from Travis, which obviously you don't always get, like, just because he makes different types of music. But yeah, it was nice.
Ghetto, man, Ghetto I really like. That Thug, man, I know Thug is like respected in the hip hop world, but like there's just like something special about Thug, man. He's just got like this aura about him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about Thug. It's like similar to Ice Spice, not in any actual sense, but in the sense that their voice makes me happy.
Well, yeah, he
Thug makes
influenced
me
the
happy.
game more than anybody really even realizes. Like that fucking high squeaky voice shit that Playboy Cardi did on Whole Lotta Red. Thug did that shit first. This fucking Rich the Kid album, basically, his voice inflection basically sounds like Thug in 2014. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm not saying he's biting or nothing, but the influence is there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess it only makes sense to end this episode one way, and that would be Free Thug.
Free Thug.
It's Off the Top podcast, got you laughing like you hit the gas pack. Show is crazy like you watching Mad Max. Every other podcast is mad whack.